Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahawashi, Bahasham, Baraka Kodash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone who ruled and teach well. And peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the brother Ra'aya with another video, and I'm going to start off in Amos chapter 8, verses 11 to 13. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh, the famine of the word, when the men of the Lord are no longer going to be out on the highways and byways preaching this word, and video epistles like this are going to be completely gone from the internet. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh, and shall not find it. So once this famine of the word hits, that's going to be it. The word is going to be completely gone. So like we always tell you, sincere Akim out there, you should be drinking from these rivers of living waters while you still can, so you have that knowledge and stability during Jacob's trouble to get you through it. Unlike the 2/3 of the nation of Israel out here who are hard-headed and refuse to return unto their power, Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashi, and refuse to listen to the men of the Lord and see this truth as a joke. As it says in 13, in that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. They're going to be spiritually hungry and thirsty, as well as physically hungry and thirsty out here, running around like chickens with their heads cut off because they didn't spend this time of liberty to get this word. So they're going to have to get that work in that day for their ignorance. And in this video, I'll be showing some information from a clip on BBC News' YouTube channel titled, "The Danger of Religious Misinformation Around C19 JABs," just to go to show how close we are to this famine of the word. And the fact that I have to speak in code because YouTube will take videos off for saying certain things, which is videos probably going to get taken down anyway, just goes to further prove that that famine of the word is right around the corner. And also, I'm on my third page recording videos right now because my first two pages in the span of a couple of days both got strikes and videos taken down. And there are a bunch of other brothers in the body with similar accounts. Hey, as it says in 2 Corinthians 2 verse 11, lest Satan get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, and we're not ignorant of the devices of the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, Esau Edom, the so-called white man. All these different things talking about religious information or misinformation or conspiracy theories are mainly targeted at the men of the Lord, because by us preaching on the highways and byways, and mainly the internet, it's exposing him and his agendas and bringing an end to his rulership in this current age of the heathen nations. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 14. "And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations." And how has that been done? Through the unicorn, the internet. This is Psalms chapter 19. I'm going to start at verse 1. "The works and the word of the Most High, to the chief musician, a psalm of David. The heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament sheweth his handiwork." How? With those satellites in low orbit space, beaming these signals to the ends of the earth and beaming brothers' lessons to the ends of the earth. "Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night sheweth knowledge." I bet there's not an hour where a brother is not posting up a video somewhere, day or night, edifying the hopeful elect and telling 2/3 of the nation of Israel and you heathen nations what your judgment's going to be for your wickedness. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Hey, ever since our apostle elders went onto YouTube back in 2007, what have you seen? Brothers pop up all across the planet preaching this gospel of the kingdom, not only in the United States, but in Canada, South America, Africa, the United Kingdom, Europe, the Philippines, Japan, Australia, etc., etc., preaching the same message in different tongues. So the hopeful elect all across the planet can get this word. Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. And when you're using the internet, what are you? You're online. In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun. as it says back in Matthew 24, verse 14, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Again, Esau, Edom's rulership, and the ending of this current age of the heathen nations before the ushering in of the kingdom of heaven, where the Israelites are going to rule for eternity. So with all this being the case, the elites of the Edomites are about to pull out all the stops to bring about this famine of the word, taking the men of the Lord off the highways and byways, and especially taking this truth off the internet. And then there are bills being talked about, like the Domestic Terrorism Prevention Act, which has gone to the Congress floor, where it talks about the threat of religious extremists and what needs to be done about them. You had one of the heads of the CIA saying that the same methods used for groups like Al-Qaeda and ISIS, anti-terrorist methods, should be used on domestic terrorists. And then you had one of the heads of the FBI go on to the Senate floor and talk about the so-called Black Hebrew Israelites and that shooting in New Jersey a couple of years ago. So Akim, that devil's about to come down in great wrath in Revelation 12, verse 12. So just be prepared. We're about to be in for one bumpy ride. Let's get back to that video. And I'm not going to say too much. I'm just going to let it play. Again, anything that could be said could get this video taken down, which it probably will anyway. Abaratazai doesn't.
Get your chip when you get your COVID vaccination.
They want to alter us.
They're sharing false rumors and lies about COVID-19 vaccines.
This is the final enslavement.
And they have influence because they're religious leaders.
I look at anti-vaccine content all day, every day. My name is Kalina Koltai. So these figureheads who have a large platform, ties, are often respected, and they also have the cultural competency to understand what is important, what are the values, what is necessary to make that information powerful and resonate.
It's a minority spreading these false messages. Most leaders in every faith are trying to do the opposite.
The vaccine is a gift of hope.
But when religious leaders spread wrong information about vaccines, it can be powerful. In India, this man suggests the vaccine is an international conspiracy to feed cow's blood to Hindus. But there's no cow's blood in COVID-19 vaccines. A Greek Orthodox bishop says slaughtered fetuses are used to make vaccines. But this emotive language is extremely misleading.
There were 2 fetuses aborted in the 1960s that are used to produce a cell line that's still used today in the process of making deactivated virus that goes into the vaccine. But that does not mean that they're taking aborted babies and putting it in your vaccines.
In Israel, a rabbi claims the vaccine will make you gay, which is nonsensical.
All those claiming to be saved.
And in the US, some evangelical Christians are debating whether vaccines are the mark of the beast, a sign of the devil, and the end of times.
I think it's difficult for social media companies to figure out where is the appropriate moderation limit when it comes to religious content.
Even when negative messages aren't necessarily false, they can have a big impact. Sitting in London, I received this message from a friend in Nigeria. But it came from Zambia, where the speaker, Nevers Mumba, is a politician and a former televangelist.
Zambia must not inject any vaccine in any Zambian body before strenuous verification.
There's a danger when someone as influential as you spreads a message like this publicly, they undermine confidence in the vaccine. Why did you feel the need to make this statement publicly?
I think it's my moral obligation as a leader to make that public, because it puts our authorities on alert to realize that we are not just people who receive anything that comes to us, but all we are saying to our people, make sure it is safe.
Is pre-regulation by the WHO that isn't enough by your standards?
No, not at all, not at all. When Pfizer hit London had to do its own verifications and ensure that they're satisfied.
Even if the intent of the person who's posting it is not necessarily to spread misinformation, it can be interpreted as a message to not vaccinate.
Dr. Teddy Andrew Mulenga challenged Nevers
So with the video, again, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. All these different things they're showing about so-called religious misinformation and the dangers of it is just fluff and window dressing for ultimately coming after the men of the Lord in this truth and taking them off the highways and byways and taking this word off the internet. So again, to you sincere Akim out there, you should be drinking from these rivers of living waters while you still can, because as we can clearly see, that spigot's about to get turned off. But as for 2/3 of the nation of Israel who are hard-headed and refuse to return unto their power or listen to the men of the Lord, you're going to get exactly what you deserve once this famine hits and Jacob's trouble hits, and you're stuck in the midst of it, not knowing whether to turn right or left. Close it out in Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 25 to 27. Destruction cometh, Jacob's trouble, hey, the famines, the pestilences, the race wars, the civil wars, martial law, concentration camps, the MOB, and ultimately those nuclear missiles. And they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh, to seek peace, and shall not find it. Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priest, and counsel from the ancients. The famine of the word, where the men of the Lord are no longer going to be on the highways and byways, and this truth is no longer going to be on the internet. And if by some chance one of you 2/3 does find a man of the Lord, the Most High is going to make his tongue cling to the roof of his mouth. So even if he wanted to tell you something, he wouldn't be able to. Think about during the days of Noah, when the Most High sealed the bars on the ark. So if Noah wanted to open it, he couldn't. And hey, these false pastors and preachers and prophets you've been seeking to now, they sure as hell won't have an answer for you in that day. They're going to be getting that same judgment that you're going to be getting. Verse 27, the king shall mourn, and the princes shall be clothed with desolation, and the hands of the people of the land shall be troubled. Hey, Jakes, from the least to the greatest are going to get this work. If you're 2/3, you're not going to be exempt, no matter how much money or status you have. I will do unto them after their way, and according to their deserts will I judge them, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. So, hey, you're going to get exactly what you put out. If you were a scoffer and a demon and hard-headed and refused to come back to your power and scoff the men of the Lord and try to do harm unto them, what do you think the Most High is going to do to you? I'll give you a hint. Nothing good. As it says in 2 Esdras chapter 9, and then shall they know it after death by pain, point blank, period. So that's it with this video. And with this video, I hope you sincere Akim were edified. Just keep strong and keep pushing this word. We're almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babal, Kwam Yasharala, and until next time, Shalom.